Ray. What do you want to do tonight?
Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Hello, this is Marquise Martin Hayes, author of the next bestseller, Monday Again? 4 Essentials for a Healthy Lifestyle. This audio was prepared for those of you like myself, on the move, on the go, wanting to read and expand your mind, but no time to pick up a book. So you listen while you work, drive, exercise, or do chores. Thank you for taking the time to invest in your life right now, so that your present is fantastic and your future brighter still. As you listen to the audio, be sure to jot down quick thoughts of inspiration and ideas that pop up in your mind. It is those thoughts and ideas that you should enjoy first. I'll wait a few seconds for you to get your pen and pad. Mondays are a state of mind. Have you ever known the happy person whose life always seems to be at peace, regardless of what day it is? They don't have life any easier than you do. They simply choose a different approach to life. We can all experience Fridays on our toughest day of the year if we would only reassess and focus our energy. We can live life and experience the best it has to offer. Monday Again was written to empower each of us that live, work, and love others with practical, doable things that make all the difference every day. My business partner and I were looking back at our lives and discussing how busy we had become, but with little in our pockets. It did not make sense. We both knew we were serving others in various ways, but discovered that we really were not accomplishing much financially. Once I understood how ridiculous my schedule had become, I knew something had to change. Yep, me. I had to change. I learned to tell others no. Sweet and simple? Not so. However, I could not possibly grow my practice, maintain a family, and create fresh and new things on a consistent basis by being available to everyone else all the time. At one point, it made sense because I thought I was bringing in more cash, but the reality was that I was not. Sure, a few $100 here and there, but that is not going to fulfill my goals and dreams. I had to face the facts. I was afraid to let go of the smaller projects to pursue the larger ones. Have I heard that story before? When you decide to be honest with who you are, you can begin to consider what to really expect. This audio is not about wishing you were better. It is about making yourself better. It is not about positive words and thoughts. It is about taking positive steps to change from where you are to where you want to be. It is about making the best of who you are by rebalancing yourself, refocusing yourself, reaching your goals, whatever they may be, and full potential by creating and visualizing that which leads you where you want to be. It is about changing negative beliefs that are instilled into us every day by those around us. As you listen to Monday Again, carefully consider how you will implement these truths into your daily routine. The goal of this work is to help you consistently experience freedom. It is, and always will be, based on your willingness to practice these truths until they become a part of you. Got your notepad?
Chapter 1. There are no Mondays. In the movie The Matrix, Neo, the star, discovers that a spoon can be bent if he is willing to adjust his beliefs about the matter of the spoon. Later, in the movie, he finally gets it. He realizes that it's all in his mind, what is and what is not, and concludes, there is no spoon.
Monday is a state of mind. Monday is what you make of it. Monday, or should I say, today, is no different from any other day. What would Monday be like if it were Saturday? Have you ever had one of those days where you have said, today feels like Friday? Of course you have. All of us have. What made the difference? Specifically, what was different about that day? It was not that you woke up on the right side of the bed. On the other hand, was it? Truthfully, millions of us get out of the same side of the bed every day. The reality is that we felt better for one reason or another. We may have even worn one of our favorite outfits or took more time to put on our makeup. Nonetheless, for whatever reason, it felt like Friday. Therefore, in accordance with that feeling, we treated that day like a Friday. Perception shapes our values, facts, and focus. Each day we process several thousand thoughts at a minimum. We are bombarded daily with ideas and ideologies that are not our own. However, as we consistently give attention to any of them, they become our thoughts. From there, we gain perception. It is a very interesting thing. If we are told through audio or visual means that this or that is a fact, after a while, if we do not change or challenge that perception with a deeper underlying truth or other knowledge, it will become truth to us. You create Monday, the day, because you choose to surrender to gloom and doom or frustration and hesitation. Whenever we allow ourselves to think mediocre, that is exactly what we get. Are you familiar with the saying, shoot for the stars and you'll at least land on the moon? Well, what happens when you only shoot for the ceiling? You might get on your tiptoes. That's the point. We often do not expect Monday to be a great day. We encumber ourselves with weak expectations instead. Our culture dictates that Mondays are supposed to be tough. At the least, we should be thankful for Hump Day. But does that mean you are supposed to follow their trend? When our expectations are low, we get just that. The actual truth is that we get less than what we expect and we create a trend. A trend that says this is what we want to occur more frequently. And guess what? It does. Monday is no different from any other day. Outside circumstances and forces are subject to our willingness to allow them to exist within us. Our determination to enjoy life will make the difference on any day. Have you ever watched the cartoon, The Jetsons? Do you remember their cars and helmets? Their helmets protected them as they went out, much like astronauts in space. They wore them to keep clean oxygen in their systems. It did not matter whether or not the air outside was polluted. They were protected from its dangers. Of course, that's a silly cartoon, but the lesson is that we have helmets on all the time. The question is, what are we allowing to get inside of us? Why is it that we allow outside circumstances to hinder us? The pollution of our mind comes in all forms and voices all throughout the day, whether it is the TV, the boss, or your best friend. Just look around. There will always be pollution. The question is, will you continue to breathe it in and slowly deteriorate, or will you decide to fight it? If you do not, you just might become contaminated and become part of the problem. Why is it that we allow outside circumstances to hinder our view and our mood anyway? Friday is just a culture created in your mind. When you think about Friday, what comes to mind? I decided to pose the question to various colleagues. Here's what they had to say.
For the next 2 days, I get to enjoy my family, run my errands, do the things I cannot do during the week, and mainly go to church to give glory and honor to my Lord and Savior. That is why Fridays are special to me. Friday after work is the best part of the week. It is a time to unwind, put my hair down, take that uniform suit off, wear clothes that are freeing, and spend time with my kids. Being a single person without children and other family responsibilities, Fridays are the days I can let loose. Fridays represent freedom, the end of the scheduled week, the beginning of a weekend of the unknown, the ability to be spontaneous, the anticipation of no alarm clocks. Fridays are my unwinding down days. Most people leave work and head straight to dinner or the movies, but this is my one and only day to make the world stop. Fridays are special because I know I have the next 2 days off to myself and to my family. Fridays are the rest day in training that many forget, like exercise. The week breaks down your muscle, mind, etc., and the rest, aka Friday, is what allows it to rebuild stronger each time. It is time for me to unwind and be around adults. You have no idea what it feels like to have an adult conversation when all week you are talking to 7- and 8-year-olds. Friday is like the day when I can really work on what I love. I can spend this time focusing on identifying what it is and what makes me happy first and foremost. Friday means to me, well, let's say Friday night means, Daddy's home, Mommy's home, we've all had a nice long week and we can kick back and enjoy one another. From the moment the day begins, there is an expectation that today is special.
Does your response resemble any of theirs? Why is it that they feel that way? Did you notice that there was a sense of relief in each response? A sense of, now I can sit back and enjoy life. It was as if they were so excited to say, I get to step away so that I can step into whatever gives them peace, freedom, or happiness. Monday can be the best day. Exactly. You see, Monday starts out the business week and gives you an opportunity to set the pace for the entire week. Just think, if you could plan an ideal week, what would it look like for you? Monday is not the worst day. Going back to work is not the worst thing that could happen to you. Each Monday could be the launching pad of a promising, vibrant future. What do you do for work? Why do you do it? What is the benefit of your work? What is the benefit of your company? Answer those core questions to regain insight and focus. The daily grind should never define you. You should define it. According to a recent MSNBC report, research says that 87% of Americans do not like their jobs. That is a startling statistic. No wonder road rage is everywhere. Many people feel stress about getting out of bed early, in the cold, or the heat, sitting in traffic and going to a place they don't enjoy. I have the answer. Switch jobs. Literally, consider changing careers. Consider a job swap with one of your friends. Of course, you cannot go into the office for them, but you could discuss and explore the options. If everyone seriously considered switching jobs, we could potentially cut that 87% of unhappiness in half. More families would be happier, incomes would increase, employee morale would boost, and company profits would soar. Your life would not be stress-free, but it would have healthy stress, the kind that forces maturity, growth, and even wealth. What would Monday look like if you actually went to a place you desired? I know. This book is about what to do, where you are, where you live, and work today. Let's start by making Monday a great day.
Chapter 2. Make it a great day. That's right. You can make it.
We decide our fate. We choose our destiny. It all begins with a simple thing, our choice. You're in control. Every rising day, you have the option of creating your own reality. Everything that happens may or may not be within your control. However, how you respond to it is very much in your control. The legendary Lou Holtz said, "Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it." That means your reaction in life determines your quality of life. Every decision you choose, without fail, will produce something in and for you, favorable or unfavorable. Once you accept that every choice you make to respond or react makes all the difference, then you will begin a journey of control. The wonderful thing is that whether you choose to make a decision or not, you make it. You see, there is no neutral ground. Make the decision. Decide. You must also face the reality that if you do not decide, or better yet, choose not to decide, is to choose defeat. That's right. We do not have a default of win. We have a default of lose. Look at a country without established rule, any country, and you will find chaos. You have to choose to win. No opposing force will simply allow you to win. You have to choose. You must choose to win. No team wins the Super Bowl because one team wants it more than the other does. They must take action to win. The good news is that you can. You can choose to be sick and tired of the mundane and create a life that makes it worth getting up every day. You can choose to create the type of life you want. Nothing is too hard except for the mind that is limited in creativity. Decide that this year will be different. Decide that this month will be exciting. Decide that this week will be fulfilling. Decide that today is a good day. This moment is the greatest moment of your life.
Your beliefs dictate your outcomes. What do you believe about you?
Not what your position is or what others think of you. It is what you think of you. There is an old proverb that stands true today. As a man thinks, so is he. In his book, As a Man Thinketh, author James Allen states, man is made or unmade by himself. You get exactly what you expect. No one forces you to do anything you do. You do because of your desire. You see, it is impossible for us to do outside of who we really are. Sure, we can survive and fake it for a while, or even for years, but it haunts and taunts you daily. Eventually, if not corrected, it will overtake you. What are your beliefs about you? What are your absolute truths for living? What areas of your life are you less than satisfied with? We are not what our job says we are. We are not what our friends think. We are who we are. Who are you?
Our limitations in success will be based most often on your own expectations for ourselves. What the mind dwells upon, the body acts upon. Dennis Waitley, consultant.
What you expect is what you attract. Yes, it's true that the secret works. It is true that karma is real. It is true that what goes around comes around. You will reap what you sow. More importantly, you can only bring into your life what you believe you can, because your actions always flow from your beliefs. Each of your actions always determine your outcomes in life. Let's test the goes around or boomerang concept. Give things or acts of service to someone other than yourself for 5 days in a row. Eventually, you'll find others giving back to you without you asking. The truth is that whether you give to yourself with a healthy or unhealthy view of others, it'll still work. Energy is just that, exchange. You cannot give without getting. You cannot keep without letting go. You can only have what you believe you should have, and your actions will reflect it. Your belief systems will determine your expectations and outcomes in your life. If you are improperly focused, then you will continue in that vein. If you continue in that vein for a day, you experience it over the course of a week. If you continue over the week, you will experience it over the months. If you continue over the months, you will experience it in your offspring. The good news is that you can realign yourself, just as a chiropractor realigns your spine. You can change what you believe with one thing: new information.
Nobody succeeds beyond his or her wildest expectations unless he or she begins with some wild expectations. Ralph Sherrill, author.
What influences have shaped you? Who told you who you are? Whose voice influenced you the most? Is that voice one that stirs positive emotions? If not, then find another source. Choose to believe something else and become it. Yes, find another voice. Maybe it will be someone else. Maybe what you've read. Or better yet, you could recreate your inner voice. Decide who you want to be and become it. Think about it. If you were a body of water, which would you rather be? A flowing stream or a pond with no entry or exit? A still body of water with no inlet or outlet does one of two things. It evaporates or stagnates. Neither state is healthy for an individual. Evaporation is the state in which most of us live, fading away, existing. Have you ever seen the unfortunate individual standing on the corner with his or her hair dismantled, their clothing makeshift, and the scent less than pleasing? Even if we wear a business suit, that is exactly how we are when we are not making a difference. If we are not living with intention, we are just like those who stand on corners and talk to themselves. Zombies. Literally, we would be the living dead, vanishing away moment by moment. Stagnant water is worse. At least one evaporates and is recycled by the universe for something good. The stagnant water breeds disease. It is an incubator of bacteria and parasites. Essentially, it spreads among the others in our environment, our work peers, our friends, and our family members. Misery loves company is true. However, the reality is that misery never lives alone. It will ensure that whoever is near it is drawn into its powerful clutches. Winning or losing, it's your choice. Make the choice. Choose to respond and not react. Choose to make it a great day. Choose to respond to everything that comes your way. Consider it in light of where you want to be, how you want to feel, and how you want to be understood. I believe that we have the option. Years ago, every time we departed, one of my supervisors told me to make it a great day. Now I know what he meant. He meant exactly what I have been saying all along. Make it. You make the day what it is. It begins with your decision. Your decision to win or lose determines your day. You see, if you choose to lose, then you will experience the life of a loser. One of the worst things that we have done to our children is to teach them that winning or losing does not matter as long as you have fun. Well, that is not entirely true. It does matter if you win or lose. If every one of us cared less about winning, then we would all be poverty-stricken because we would live for the moments of tomorrow. That tomorrow will never come if we do not make decisions today that lead to victory. Winning always matters.
More than any time in history, mankind faces a crossroads. One path leads to despair and utter hopelessness, the other to total extinction. Let us pray that we have the wisdom to choose correctly. Woody Allen, 3-time Academy Award winner.
Choosing to win is possible. First, it does not mean that your neighbor, friend, or significant other has to lose. Winning is not about defeating another individual. It is always about mastering yourself. Running long distances is one of the greatest ways to learn to win. It teaches you to learn patience. It teaches you to work against yourself to better yourself. Try it. Consider joining a training program. You will want to start slow, of course, but you can. Run a 5K, 10K, or even a marathon. It is never about winning the marathon unless you have the potential of being one of the top Kenyans or world record potential runner. It is about personal triumph. It's about personal development. It's about inner strength expressed through outward discipline. It's about overcoming every obstacle that stops you. It's about changing your diet. It's about creating new patterns. It's about learning new things. It's about you. Choosing to win is choosing to overcome. Choosing to win is choosing to accept truth. Choosing to win is not about doing more. It is about doing what is right for you. The you that is whole, complete, focused, determined. Now that you know this audio is not about Mondays, it's about today. Do it. Discover and develop simple ways of making today the day you desire. It is time for you to recenter and focus.
Chapter 3. Recenter. What you give attention to, you will get.
Keep the main thing the only thing. Realign your focus. Whenever your clocks are off, you readjust them. Whenever you hang a picture on the wall and it looks crooked, what do? You readjust it, right? Exactly. You see, when you readjust the picture, you are realigning it with the wall so that it is symmetrically harmonious. Why do we do such things? Really, what is wrong with just leaving the picture on the wall the way it was? After all, it is on the wall. We realign things because it creates a sense of balance within us. Balance is connected to our equilibrium. As we find things out of balance, they disrupt our flow. With the millions of innuendos, ads, attitudes, and knuckleheads throughout the day, it is no wonder we get thrown out of balance. When we refocus ourselves, we are able to decipher what is taking place and navigate ourselves to our desired destination. Often, we are aware of the nature of our being. We are all comprised of common major needs and components. In this audio, I will not attempt to exhaust this idea, but I cannot mention balance and not at least tap the surface of their ideals. I will exhaust them in my next book on shaping perspective. Every man and woman on this planet must deal with the following key components of their lives: their physical nature, their social nature, their mental nature, emotional, spiritual, and their financial nature. Any disarray in these components causes us to become unbalanced and can destroy us. As we look to create a sense of harmony in our lives, we must explore standard, potential, and viewpoints of these areas. You examine each component and note how important a healthy state of each of them relates directly to another component. You must also compare a damaged component and its impact into another component. A great example would be a person who has every area of their life intact, but is socially challenged. A modern-day Scrooge. This person may have the greatest health records, they may have the monetary resources and enjoy them, but if their social perspective is unbalanced, they may be alone. They are alone with things to do without anyone to share. This individual must develop a reasonable level of social ability in order to have a lasting impact in their communities and have friends with which to share experiences. If the social component is unbalanced and he or she is alone, it could affect their mental or emotional component. The long-term effects can be outstanding. Another example is the person who may be the greatest individual on the planet. They may have incredible enthusiasm and zeal. They may be spontaneous and well-versed in their social networks of friends and families. However, if this person does not take the time to invest in their health, has poor eating habits, and does not stay physically fit, then other areas of their life will suffer. They may not have the stamina they need to invest into healthy relationships because they are tired. Perhaps they want to travel with their loved ones on vacation, but are unable to walk the miles required to tour the European village. Even worse, this individual increases their chances of premature death.
Happiness is not a matter of intensity, but one of balance and order, and rhythm and harmony. Thomas Merton, Trappist monk and author.
Don't take yourself too seriously. Part of focusing is learning to relax. There is a time to be alert and passionate, but that does not equate stress. It is not synonymous with hard work. It reflects lack of control. When have you ever effectively accomplished more because you were under intense pressure that caused you to stress? I know you have had those times when you have taken an exam and you passed with last-minute studying, or should I say memorization? That's just it. If you are not fully able to engage, then your work and your relationships will never experience fullness. Relax at work. It is when work begins. Relax in your relationships. It is when your partner will open up. Or maybe, just maybe, you will change. When was the last time you laughed at yourself or with those around you? There's a proverb that states, a cheerful disposition is good for your health. Go ahead, release some stress right now. Recall how silly you were attempting to put on your makeup or fix your hair this morning while you drove to work. Driving and dressing sounds like a true DUI. Driving under insanity. Recently, I had to laugh at my children because they were mimicking me unintentionally. As I drove them to school one morning, my son started yelling, ever so gently, at the truck that was 2 cars in front of us. He was frustrated because the truck in front of us only needed to move forward a little so that we could slide by on the right and make our turn. He was literally ranting as if the driver could hear him. If that is what I'm reflecting to my children through my driving, then give me a ticket for reckless driving and road rage immediately. It is never as easy as we think it is. On the other hand, it is never as serious as we make it either. Laugh aloud and enjoy the journey. Multitasking is overrated. Okay, maybe multitasking is an art. However, the art of multitasking is not what you are trying to perfect. It is only a tool to be used when necessary, not the norm. At one point, my business partner and I were looking back at our lives and discussing how busy we had become, but with little in our pockets. It did not make sense. We both knew we were serving others in various ways, but discovered that we were not accomplishing much financially. Once I understood how ridiculous my schedule had become, I knew something had to change. Yep, me. I had to change. I learned to tell others no. Sweet and simple? Not. However, I could not possibly grow my practice, maintain a family, and create fresh and new things on a consistent basis by being available to everyone else. At one point it made sense because I thought I was bringing in more cash. But the reality is that I was not. Sure, a few $100 here and there, but that is not going to fulfill my goals and dreams. I had to face the facts. One fact is that I was afraid to let go of the smaller projects to pursue the larger ones. I've heard a story about that before. Do you remember the monkey whose hand was stuck in the jar? Exactly.
The Monkey and the Pickle Jar by A. Ulrich. There once was a monkey who lived in the forest, who always bragged about how smart he was. One day the monkey found a pickle jar with a handful of pickles left inside. The monkey was extremely fond of pickles. The monkey put his hand in the jar and grabbed all of the pickles. When he lifted his hand, it would not come out. He was not sure what to do, so he started yelling, "Help, help, my hand is stuck." Then suddenly, a little rabbit came by and looked over the situation. After carefully reviewing the jar in Monkey's hand, the rabbit said, "Poor, poor monkey, trapped by your own greed and stupidity. Let go of the pickles and you'll be free." And he was.
So as you look at your life, consider minimizing the multitasking and eliminating the multi-project trap. Find a way to involve others. They want to help, especially if they know they fit. It would not hurt to give them some recognition either. You will also find that you will be much more productive with a dose of peace inside. We just spoke about multitasking. It is not enough to talk about it. Where does it begin? Do you have your pad? How is it that we find ourselves trapped in such circumstances? It's our clothing. Yep. We are more focused on how we look rather than how productive we really are. How is that, you're asking? Hats. We are wearing too many hats. Sometimes we even wear the wrong hats. There is nothing more frustrating for a significant other to feel like they are at work with you once you get home. Have you ever found yourself raising unreasonable expectations of your kids because you forgot to take the boss hat off? That is half of what's wrong with our families today. We are bossing our children and loved ones around as if they are at the office, or worse, as if they are the boss that drives you crazy. Use that long drive home in traffic to help you change your clothes. Figuratively, of course. take the time to assess what took place, good and challenging. Taking the time to review can help you capture a different perspective of what took place. Consider how you may handle that situation positively in the future. Then, take some time to capture what needs to happen at your next destination. Allow yourself to consider things going the way, realistically, they need to in order for you to have peace. Consider the objections and possibilities, but ultimately embrace the environment in which you are about to encounter with a positive mental attitude. The point of this exercise is to use any moment that you can find to take off one hat and put on the other. In the Midwest, during February, we all wear coats. Is it not normal for you to get home and just throw your coat on the sofa? No. It is usually expected that you will hang up your coat in the closet. Do that as you transition between work and home. Conversations with coworkers and significant others. Put things in their proper mental place. After all, how many arguments have you been involved with at home, only to realize later that it started because of some idiot at work? Choose the position you will take regardless of the influences and thoughts of others. Then stand, with the understanding that you will shift only if it's necessary. Now, let's discuss how to refresh ourselves.
Chapter 4. Refresh.
A cheerful heart makes good medicine. You have to start with you in mind. It begins with what energy you put into it. You cannot break out of a mode with your body fading away. The number one cause of illness and disease is stress. How much stress do you actually keep around you on a daily basis? Do you know that having a bad attitude towards someone causes stress? It literally poisons your blood with toxins. As these toxins continue to multiply and you do not release them by letting go of pain and frustration, they can develop into disease and, worse yet, death. Yes, death. Most strokes can be traced back to stress in the body that was not released. It's been said that a person who is not afraid to cry will live longer than one who does not cry, because they release those toxins and do not hold them within. A tear shed is never wasted, for it heals the hurt and releases the pain. Here are a couple of views of stress.
Stress. The confusion created when one's mind overrides the body's basic desire to choke the living daylights out of some jerk who desperately deserves it. Stress is nothing more than a socially acceptable form of mental illness. Richard Carlson, author and psychotherapist.
I like this one most.
If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Marcus Aurelius, Roman Emperor.
A number of reasons can cause stress, so I must include another important reason, and that is lack of rest. Yes, I know we're talking about what you can do today. Well, let me tell you, today could have been very different simply based on the amount of rest you received last night. Lack of sleep disrupts every physiological function in the body, according to E. Van Carter of the University of Chicago. We have nothing in our biology that allows us to adapt to this behavior. Listen to that thought one more time. Lack of sleep disrupts every physiological function in the body. We have nothing in our biology that allows us to adapt to this behavior. I understand the pressures that our jobs and careers place on us. However, we must understand how the impact of our lives and how our ability to live are directly impacted by our levels of stress. We cannot contribute as we should at our job, in our families, or throughout our communities if we are mentally strained, physically fatigued, or on our deathbed. Begin with getting adequate rest. If you have a short night, plan a siesta, a short afternoon nap. Do what it takes to take care of your body. After all, you only have one. Okay, back to today. How can you relieve and eliminate unnecessary stress? Let us start with breathing. Breathing is something more than you do to live. If done correctly, deep breathing gives life to your cells and more. Deep breathing helps your body expel carbon monoxide. Translated, poison. No wonder our bodies act up more than normal. Deep breathing clears the oxygen pathways in the lungs and helps the heart work more efficiently. Try it. No, try it now. Try taking some deep breaths right now. Inhale through the nose, hold it for 3 to 5 seconds, then exhale through the nose. Take 5 to 10 deep breaths at least daily. Try doing it on the way to work, during lunch, on the way home, and before you sleep tonight. As oxygen flows into your muscles, it will help them flow more naturally. When we exhale, we allow freshness and creativity to flow. Another way to increase your breathing capacity is to engage in some form of aerobic activity. If you are overweight, then perhaps you may begin with 10 minutes of intense walking. You could then possibly include a video class that will help you push yourself a little further. Obviously, if you have any medical conditions, consult your doctor first. Nevertheless, there is something you can do to increase your lung capacity.
When you are doing your aerobic exercise, go at a comfortable pace until you have developed more stamina. Lee Haney, 8-time Mr. Olympia Champion.
Get rid of the garbage you plan to consume. That other way to breathe is by eating healthier. Grab some superfood and indulge yourself immediately. Superfoods give you almost instant energy. I know the candy bar commercials tell you that they give you what you need, as well as the wonderful drinks that give you the shot of energy. But superfoods do it naturally. Their benefits extend so far past the moment, and they have natural boosters that can actually benefit your body and mind. Just in case you were wondering, superfoods can rarely be purchased at a local drive-thru restaurant. However, most of them can be easily kept in a lunch bag and a few of them at work or in the car. The bottom line is that there are several of them that you do not have to run home and prepare. With so many doctors and nutritionists having done the research for us, I won't attempt to exhaust them, but I will give you a quick list of some superfoods. Beans, blueberries, broccoli, oats, oranges, pumpkin, salmon, soy, spinach, tea, green or black, tomatoes, turkey, walnuts, or yogurt. I realize many of the foods on this list might not be the tastiest on the palate, but their benefits outweigh their taste in gold. One of the things that I do to help me consume the necessary but perhaps undesirable foods is to simply remind myself that food is for nourishment, not enjoyment. Once I've received nourishment, I can live and accomplish my dreams because I have the necessary energy. That's more than enjoyment. That's fulfillment. It's rewarding to know that I can actually wake up before dawn, run several miles, take my kids to school, work, pick up my kids from school, help them with their homework, help with dinner, eat, and then get back to work on my other projects with only 5 to 7 hours of sleep each night, with a good attitude. Maybe you don't want to share the same fitness goals that I do. However, you should have some. It should be important to you to have time to enjoy the activities that you consider important. You can do things you consider fun and meaningful with a smile. Drink. Get some fluid. Yes, I know. I had some coffee this morning. I had some water this morning. Better yet, I had some OJ and water. Either way, keeping your body hydrated, especially with water, is critical to your brain and limbs. It is the lubricant to your joints. Imagine with me, if you will, a car. No matter how much gas you put in it, you must constantly keep your oil changed every 3,000 miles. Otherwise, your car will build up grime and slush. It would then cost more in gas and the performance would severely suffer. Even worse, your car could dry out, overheat, and your engine would lock up, literally freeze once the engine cools down. Our bodies are not much different. We need lubricant in our body in order to keep it functioning at its optimal. Yes, I know that you may or may not like water, but that is not what this is about. It is time out for us to decide whether we prefer what is best over what is not. The question to ask is what is best for you. Taste is fine in a given context, but it does not replace the necessities you must have. Water is one of those necessary evils and pleasures. Listen, it is not my goal to argue how much water you drink. You get to decide how efficient your body functions. But listen to these statements from an article by Dan Stewart and Denise Rutledge of Canada. Water is essential for existence. 25% of the human body is solid matter and 75% is water, states F. Batamangeljic, author of Your Body's Many Cries for Water. The brain is said to be 85% water. Human blood is 90% water. Muscles are 75% water. The liver is 82% water. And our bones are 22% water. Every part of the human body is dependent upon, you guessed it, water. Enough said. If your brain is obstructed and your joints are stiff, this might be something to consider. Liquidate. Water is wisest.
Water, thou hast no taste, no color, no odor. Canst not be defined, art relished while ever mysterious. Not necessary to life, but rather life itself. Thou fillest us with a gratification that exceeds the delight of the senses. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, From Wind, Sand, and Stars, 1939.
Move something. Stretching works right in line with breathing. Gently stretch in your chair. Lean over and stretch from side to side. Lean forward and touch your toes. Walk around the office for a moment. Allow the blood to circulate. As simple as it sounds, the more frequently we do it, the more efficiently our body and our brain will work for us. Visit Office Exercise at www.about.com for some more examples. It is amazing what happens to us when we are idle, sitting in a chair throughout the workday. Sedimentation begins, literally. A few years ago, I worked in an office that did not require me to move around often because I had all I needed: a brain, a computer, and a chair. Literally, at 30 years young and an athlete by moderate standards, the sedimentation process began. As I went to play basketball during that winter season, after a few games, I tore my Achilles tendon. Can you believe it? I am a runner and an athlete who is in shape and eats well. Long story short, sedimentation is a result of things not moving for long periods. Ironically enough, the following year, I played on that same team, and before the season really got underway, I tore my other Achilles tendon. It was then that my doctor told me that men between the ages of 25 to 45 years of age who worked an office job and played occasional sports more frequently tore their Achilles tendon than any other muscle. Duh. Do you want to get rid of the little extra? Proper circulation is critical. Your body is designed to heal itself, but it has a difficult time if it does not have the proper blood flow. Work with the body you've been given and watch miracles take place right before your eyes. Stretch. Go ahead. Try it. Try it now. Staying flexible creates flexibility. Flexibility creates leverageability. Leverageability creates resilience. Resilience means a longer, happier life.
I never struggled with injury problems because of my preparation, in particular, my stretching. Edwin Moses, 4-time Olympic gold medalist.
Sing a song. Get a song. Yeah, a song. Find a song that creates life inside you. We all know those songs. We know those songs that make us feel sad, songs that make us dance, and songs that make us feel love. Find a song that makes you feel positively energetic. What do you mean you don't want to play that song? Is it because you might sing it? That's the point. Get a song that you love and begin singing it. It creates the mood you need to overcome the challenges of the day. It can literally help you create peace in your heart. Music has a way of creating energy. It does not matter whether it's good or bad. Music really does calm the savage beast. It is no wonder it is recommended to play classical music for babies. It stimulates creativity in the mind. What happens when you go out to dance? If the song is not right, you just sit around as if you would rather be out golfing or out to dinner. However, when the song or that right song comes on, what comes to mind? Oh yeah, that's my song. Your feet start tapping, head bobbing, hands clapping, and before you know it, you're on your feet moving and grooving. Or maybe you're just like me. You chair dance with style. The point is that music taps into your soul. Your soul is a representation of your heart. Trust me, you cannot be depressed or stressed if you are doing your favorite dance, singing an inspirational, meditation, or a happy song. Try it. You just might find yourself humming in the middle of a boring meeting. In fact, write down that song right now on your pad.
Music does not lie. If there is something to be changed in the world, then it can only happen through music. Jimi Hendrix. Chapter 5. Reignite. Create what you really desire. The ability to create is open to its creator.
If your mind is occupied because of what you see, then you cannot focus on what you need to comprehend. Clean off your desk. Remove the extra stuff on the table. Get up and organize as much as you can in 2 minutes. Too many things in the frying pan makes everything take longer to cook. Remove the clutter. Allow yourself to digest what is most important and then take on the next project. Multitasking is not bad, as we discovered, but multi-projecting is horrendous. After you have organized your area, organize your thoughts for just a moment. Eliminate as many unimportant tasks as quickly as possible. Seeing does not begin until you have a clear vision. Otherwise, it's just meaningless observation. Write down the things you need to do today. Sort out your thoughts right now. Decide what needs to be done and leave the rest alone. Clear your mind. Write them on the calendar for tomorrow or another day. Do it now. Let go of the small things. I know you may have been told to take care of the little things to make room for the big things. That's backwards. Prioritize. Do the most important task first. Get it out of the way and you will find that you can delegate the little things to someone else.
3 rules of work. Out of clutter, find simplicity. From discord, find harmony. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. Albert Einstein.
Write your vision. Visualize where you want to be and get there. Set your goals for today in 60 seconds. You should be able to write your goals for one day within 60 seconds. After listening to this audio, you have known to set your goals last night or yesterday afternoon in 60 seconds. Nonetheless, you can only reasonably accomplish so many things within the workday, especially since you are not going to attempt to wear every hat. Now that you have your body refreshed and your focus fixed, you can clearly articulate what needs to get done. Not only what needs to be done, but also rather what is going to get done, which includes what's necessary for now and also the vision for tomorrow. Goals are always achievable, but more importantly, they should only be a milestone in the bigger project, not the destination. What are your obstacles to those goals? Many times, we fail to accomplish our goals because we did not consider the cost to having them. There is a passage in the Bible that speaks about a man who builds before counting the cost. The man is considered foolish since he does not assess the amount of resources it will cost him. Because he does not, he is guaranteed to run out of resources and be embarrassed. What are those resources? Focus, time, energy, money, plans, or even people. Write those things down. The same thing happens to us when we do not count the costs. Maybe we are not publicly embarrassed, but internally we are shredded. The good news is that we do not have to be. Simply assess what is going to be involved and be honest with yourself. Include travel time, fees, obstacles, and anything that is necessary behind the scenes in order to achieve your goals. If you don't know where to begin, invest in a mentor or hire a personal coach. Step by step. Just do it. Do not put it off for tomorrow. Literally, let's practice. Stop right now. Write down one goal that you need to achieve within the next 24 to 48 hours. Write down everything that needs to take place surrounding its success. Imagine it, visualize it, and write it. Do it now. Okay, now that you've written down the one goal and the steps to ensuring its success, take the first step and each step afterward. Here's a key. Put the goal on an index card or post it on anything that you reference frequently, including the steps to take. You might even consider placing it on your steering wheel. It will help you remember and focus on what to do. Dream for today. Create your dream for today based on your objectives. Visualize it accomplished. Visualize yourself happy and fulfilled. Do not allow anything else to take its place. Remember, it's a dream, not a nightmare. It is something which can be accomplished today, and you are going to see it through. Dreaming is different from visualizing. Visualization has to do with you creating what you would like to see. Dreaming, on the other hand, in particular lucid dreaming, the dreamer has control over the characters and environment of the dream as well as themselves. You can dream and adjust the situations according to your desired result. Set aside a regular time for dreaming. Literally, allow yourself to dream. You can dream in as little as 5 or 10 minutes. Try it in the morning. It may be better if you do it at night right before you sleep, but find the time. As you dream, it will be wise to journal your thoughts. Once you have visualized what you desire, let it seep into your consciousness. Process it. Meditate on it. That is a sweet dream. Save tomorrow for tomorrow. Tomorrow is there. You are living now. Work through this moment, and tomorrow will take care of itself. Tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow is another audio. Enjoy today. Allow yourself to breathe the fresh air around you. Allow yourself to live in the moment and make the most of it. Carpe diem. Seize the day. There is no reason for you to be concerned. You have a plan. If tomorrow arrives, you already have a vision, script, and steps to follow. You know exactly what to do. Rest, and remember that even if today is Monday, it's a great day to be alive. Monday or not. Now that you understand how to adjust the course of your day, you are ready. You are ready to begin today. Like a diet, it does not work if you do not work it. However, if you work any of them, as long as it includes eating healthy and good amounts of water, you will lose weight and feel better. Whether today is Monday or not, it can be the best day of the week. In fact, you now have the tools to make every day the best day. All you have to do is decide and choose who you are, who you want to be, where you want to be in life, and then do the things that you've learned in this audio. Focus on changing your beliefs about who you are. The past is the past. Create a future you will be proud of living. Go for it. Do it. You're worth it. Create your balance. Energize your body and mind. Challenge yourself to be the best you can be and have the best life for yourself. Visualize your goals. Write them down and make them happen. You have more control and power than you realize. It does not matter if today is Monday or in the middle of a humid summer or the Friday you leave for vacation. The bottom line is you get what you expect. Expect only what you desire. Experience what you expect. Live. My friend, Monday again is all about you. It's about you choosing to take control of your life. You were given abilities, skills, and talents. Choose to exercise. Don't become a robot. Don't become a follower. Lead, determine your life, and you will find that you can live whether it's Monday or whether it's Friday. Thinking about you, loving you, and relying upon your success because you chose it. As one of my good friends once said, make it a great day. The choice is up to you.